I do think it's important to kind of just keep track. So we'll do a little bit of keeping track of what is being dismantled in the federal government, always reminding everybody that in a democracy, right? And I'm not trying to dumbsplain to our audience. I'm just saying this because this is me talking to the internet and it gets stuck forever out there. In a democracy, the concept of it is we the people, a government by the people, for the people, right? Of the people. So we decide we don't want a king ruling. We don't want Doge. We don't want some douchebag billionaire from South Africa who stole all the plans anyway for it. All this stuff is not an engineer and he has a myth and he's a fraud and he's on ketamine. We don't want that ruling over us. We decided this as a nation a few hundred years ago. We threw off the rule of the king and said, okay, so then we're going to have to govern ourselves. And what does that take? What does that mean? It means, well, let's see. Do we want our kids educated? Do we want the next generation do we want education? Yes, we want, okay, we're going to have to create an agency, right? So it's beyond the three branches of government. The laws, you got to come up with the laws. We agree upon the laws. We're all going to live by, right? Under the Constitution, we'll have a Constitution. We'll write it down. And we're all going to agree to live this so that we can be in a civil society. So we're not just running around. Somebody's taking my horse over here. Another person is just walking into my house and right. And then, and then you can't just, I have a right to work and I'm not your slave. You have to pay me stuff, right? That is like about having a civil society that can develop and progress and move forward. We've had a lot of fits and starts with all that. We've been through the getting rid of throwing off slavery. We've been through a lot, right? Civil rights movement, all these things. But anyway, working towards that better union under the rules of the sort of rule of law that we all agreed to. Then to enforce that, you're going to have all these jobs. You're going to have people. You can have judges. You can have systems. The systems are run by people, not AI, not Grok. People are going to have to, it's people, but of the people, by the people, of the people, jobs, people overseeing, right? Then you want education. We're going to have to create agencies for that kind of stuff. It needs funding. How are we going to fund this thing? Well, we'll pay our taxes. We're not going to pay our taxes to a king. We'll pay taxes into a system, right? Where then it gets used for our benefit so that I can have a road to drive on. So there's power. So that when I go to the store to buy food, it's not going to poison me. When I turn on the faucet, first of all, it works if you're on, city or whatever, but then, because it goes down to the local level, but also that when I drink that water, it's not going to poison me. Maybe there's even stuff like we could finally figure out in this nation, my child is sick with cancer. Hopefully there's somebody doing the good work to make sure that we're working towards a cure, but at least have great treatment for my child. Stuff like that. It's nice, right?
It's the hallmark of
That's
an
what it
advanced
is.
civilization. And they
That's
want
what
it
it
ruined.
is. It's a hallmark of a civilization. You have to have people in jobs to do that. AI is not going to come up with a cure. It's human beings.
AI's cure for human beings is going to be to kill us all, as every science fiction writer ever has concluded.
So just as a reminder,
yeah,
that's why there's all these jobs and we pay taxes. We pay our taxes so that it will work for us, but someone's going to have to do that work. It takes manpower to have a government. A government doesn't just exist in an idea.